What's up, y'all? It's your boy Steve here. Last night was the closing game of this Phoenix New Orleans game, and point guard himself, Chris Paul, went off for a NBA record, 14 of 14 from the field. Don't think it's ever been done in NBA playoff history. So we're gonna break down his game. Mainly, he operated out of the pick and roll. Like, everything's out of the pick and roll with him. He's a pick and roll master. Like, if you were like a student, he's the sensei. Like, that's how good he is. If you need to learn how to watch film, or if you need to learn how to use a pick and roll and make reads, Chris Paul is one of them. Chris Paul, say Steve Nash, Jason Kidd. Who else? I like those three for sure to operate out of pick and roll. John Stockton for sure too. Yeah, so we're going to get started here. All right, so very simple action here. Just comes off. And now what he does with this, he comes off and you see how he hangs this ball here? A lot of players need to understand how to float the ball better. If you can float the ball, there's so many things you can do legally. Now, in the NBA, you might get away with it a little bit more if refs know what they're like, understand the rules. Like, he hung the ball here, and he pauses. He like waits. So look, this little action right here. I know it's going pretty slow. The ball floats, and he goes 1-2 to give him time to make a read. And because of his ability to pass and he's hanging it out here, it looks like he can throw a little bounce pass with one hand. But because there's so much space here between this defender and the big is kind of leaning back, he goes up for the shot. And a super late contest doesn't really bother him. Once again, he gets this kind of this, like, I don't even know what it's called, almost out of horn set, but it's going to end up being like a I formation. Don't know how to really explain it. I need to learn probably the correct terminology. But he sets this flat ball screen, Jay Crowder. Then he snakes it right away. So now Jackson Hayes has to guard him. And Chris Paul, outside of being a master pick and roll player, his mid-range fade is arguably, off the dribble, is probably one of the best in the game. Maybe ever. One of the best mid-range fades in the NBA, in NBA's history, because he's 6 feet, maybe 5. I've never seen Chris Paul in person, but they list him at 6 feet, 6'1". Jackson Hayes is about 6'11" with dumb bounce. So look how he gets into him here. And this is what I try to teach players. Attack that hip. And he cuts his angle. So now you see Jackson Hayes went from this diagonal angle like here to completely opening up like this. So now Chris Paul sees that. He knows he might not be able to get it off the glass quick enough. So then he goes behind the back into his fadeaway over the outstretched hand of Jackson Hayes and makes it. That one was a tough shot. Jose Alvarado is proven himself, in my opinion, to be a great on-ball defender. Here we have him coming off. Same idea. Hang, pull up. All right, let's watch that fast speed. Sorry. That ability to hang, float, skip. And the other thing is, Alvarado was playing ring, like, back and forth. Like, Chris Paul would come across, simple crossover. Sorry. Excuse me. That might be a moving screen, but He gets under, he goes underneath, and then on the last one, he goes over the top. Bismack says a great screen, stops his momentum. Chris Paul, dribble, hang, skip, inverted 1-2 into a shot. Like I said, these first 13 clips, 14, no, it's 14 clips. First 12 clips are all pick and roll. So he comes off this double screen and gets DeAndre Ayton rolls to the free throw line, essentially. Chris Paul then reuses him. And here's where throwing the ball out is important. Like I said, I was literally talking to my players, like going to a 1-2 pull up. They kept throwing the ball straight out every single time. I'm like, you can't do that because you don't know what situation you're going to be. You have to, I prefer you keep it out on the side of you, on your outside hip, so you can flow into your shot. Only time you need to throw the ball out is when defender reaches. So we have Brandon Ingram here, takes a hard jab and tries to steal the ball. So he gets it away. A couple of people jump at him. Just the feel to be able to do that, it takes time. It takes a lot of time to build that. Another one, ball screen, re-screen, shot. He hops into the shot because Jackson Hayes went under, right? He gets under here. He could have shot that, but he saw that Jackson was able to recover off that. Ayton then flips his screen. Chris Paul sees that he decides to go under. I think this Valanciunas is hanging back here. So shot read. Skipped into his foot replacement, into his shot. Here's a give and go. Went under, so he decided to rescreen. Same idea. Hang. Floater. This is so nice. I love this action. Hang. That's that hang action. You let the ball hang, float off the pick and roll. It floats it. Like if you guys can get that part of your game down off the pick and roll, that pace, that coming off the screen where it's not like full speed, but it's at a speed where you can kind of cruise. So off this handoff, let's just look at some micro details. Takes a dribble, inside hand going to the left, and then pushes it out. Now, that's not crazy common, but I don't usually teach this, but this is something I have to look into. And then he plants off this dribble step, hangs, and then takes one step into his floater. It's tough, super tough. High middle ball screen. DeAndre Ayton comes and resets it. I like this. This is interesting, right? He comes off, sees a reach, throws the ball out into his right hand, and then went into his skip to jump shot and faded to the left. Like I said, hard action to do. Or he might have won two, I can't see because of the angle. But like I said, pace comes off, downhill, read, he's going backwards. He's chasing over the top. You want to get to this open area right here for that pull-up. Almost like a flat ball screen. He snakes this because the Valanciunas opens up. And then sometimes he does that. Sometimes he does that ball hang. And other times he punches to get some momentum up into his fade. So sets it, decides to come off, backs up, big backs up, reads wide open area, reads snake. On this last dribble, I'm going to have it play normal speed. Punch, 1-2, and then turns into a shot. Now, another key thing, like I said, I'm breaking this down like for those who watch this, you'll learn a lot. He plants his feet on his fade. On his fade, his feet are pointed here towards this baseline. So when I teach the fade to some of you guys, that's what happens. And then when you go up, you see this torso turn and leg kick to help square up to the hoop. So those are reasons why I tell you to focus on these things. Again, rescreen. He's just playing with him. So get a screen. It was kind of over the top. It wasn't really a good screen. So he popped back out, brought him back. It's like, let me bring it out. Sorry, real quick. I did this with Eva Eva, one of the girls I trained, this action to bring it back out and get a rescreen. And the guard, who's that, Jones or whatever, went underneath and then shot. Different. Point guard. This was OD. It's a rescreen on the sideline, gets downhill. I think this could have been a shot. But you see how he manipulates the ball. Manipulates the ball. He does a crossover here, which messes you up as a big, which looks like he's going to do a pocket pass. You see how that crossover could look like a pocket pass? And he slows up, and then he accelerates out on the push cross because to get to his spot. Once again, feet pointed to the sideline. Fade mid-range. Now, the other thing. So boom, here, crossover. That crossover throws him off because if you watch here, he kind of gets stuck because he didn't know what to see. How he kind of like got stuck and didn't know what to do. Alvarado helps over. Clearly, it's either a shot or this kick out to Dev Booker. But you could see, watch this action also it messed him up, but it also messed the big up. Watch how he cross steps, or he takes a back step, pack pedal step, and he's off balance. So he can't really even quote unquote contest. His hands there, but he doesn't really get to contest the shot. I think this is the one I really like. Oh no. Nah, that was pretty simple. Dribble handoff, get into a ball screen, great screen, over top, left, right. I would have probably pulled it like right here. Oh, he did do that. I'm tripping. Great read. 2 dribble 4 step. Come off. 1, 2. Into the shot. That's why we do a 2 dribble 4 step for that reason, because there's those opportunities to get to that spot and pull up. All right. So players, if you do it with me, don't get bored with it. It's important. All right. This is the one. Wait, is it that one or this one? What slide is this? We'll see. Oh, this is it. Nah, this one is super tough. Like, this is like super tough. All right, here he gets a screen, real brush screen, and he does the stagger speed stop, kind of hezzy. And then what that does, BI gets like was trying to recover, and now he's into his body. So now he's pulling back. Chris stops and gets into his body. So now he's, I can't keep going. So now he would have a layup and he holds him off. Now Valanciunas steps up. Ayton realizes he's in the way, steps back. Now Valanciunas is like, shoot, I got to keep up with him. This guy has Devin Booker, so he can't really give up or give help, too much more help. This is a lot of space already as it is. Like right here. But Then he just gets to his spot off 1 foot, elevates, shot. This move is tough. I like this. This pace. Off, staggered. Boom. Gets into his body. Kind of stops. Crosses over. Gets to across the paint. Kind of skips into this 1-2 fade. So he skips, fades, shot. Super tough. D-Book to Ayton to Chris Paul. So watch how he comes up. Split catch. He sees the closeout. Split catch right into a drive. Crowder can really shoot. Alvarado gave up on the play. Valanciunas was waiting, so he decided to float it up. Got in there. Great lay. Last one. ISO. Oh, yeah. Come here. So tough. Just ice the game. All right, let's watch this combo. There's a push into a step through. Push through the legs, push the defender back, pushed off the back foot, push. So he goes back, load through. He raised up. On the raise up, he went in and out. So now look how CJ had to open up. Gets into his hip, his angle, tries to cut him off. And then he puts on the brakes. 1, 2. And look how far CJ goes. This is why I say if you can get this action, if you can understand and get that feeling of when you drive and you can get into a defender and they're like trying to beat you to a spot and you stop on a dime, it takes a lot of reps and it takes a lot of feel to develop that. But it's almost impossible to guard, especially when you have elite handle like this. All right, one last go around. Boom, in and out. Boom. So tough. All right, that's it for Chris Paul. Like I said, it's a long video, but it's just so much important things to watch, to learn. You guys got to definitely study it. For those who don't, for those watchers, thank you. Keep learning, keep grinding, keep growing, get better. All right, see you guys soon.